Well, it doesn't surprise me. I was in Florida all last week, and up and down the state, I could really feel the Trump train steaming. And it's very simple to me how he's done this. And it's because he's had a very single-minded campaign to really talk to one group of Americans, white working class men. And he took a punt very early on, Trump, that was the way he could beat Hillary Clinton. That he couldn't compete with her with Latinos, with African Americans, with Hispanics, but he could compete against her by acting effectively like a billionaire Robin Hood, standing up for a very, at the moment, very downtrodden part of American society, which is working class white men. You've seen all their jobs being outsourced to Mexico and China and so on. And Trump has said, look, I'm your guy. And I think that's what's happening tonight. The American nation is pretty divided anyway, and actually the split so far from what I've seen is that the black vote is slightly down. The Latino vote is about 1% up, but very marginal on the last election. The female vote is pretty heavily against Trump, but you'd expect that with the first female candidate nominee.
Well, no, you might expect that because of the rhetoric we've heard from Donald Trump.
Of course, this is not much of it indefensible. You know, I wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. He's not my politics, but I tried to explain, because I've known him a very long time, very well. I've tried to explain to people why I thought he may be in this position that he's found himself in tonight, which is resonating with tens of millions of Americans. And they are a very particular part of American society. And when you're down in Florida and you're down in Texas and places like this, you really feel the impact that he's having on those people. Well, I've known Trump 10 years. I've interviewed him 35 times or so. I've spoken to him every 3-4 weeks probably in that time. I found him to be a very loyal guy, but if you're loyal to him, he's very loyal back to you. He has very good qualities. He can be very charming. I know people find this shocking back in Britain, where they think he's, the next Hitler.
People find him
monster.
shocking all over the world, don't they, Piers?
Well, they do, but they sort of misunderstand him in many ways too.
There are very clear things that you don't have to misunderstand.
Of course, and I'm not here to defend the more outrageous stuff he said. I've been the first to criticise him, whether it's been with the Muslim ban call or whether he's been having a go at the Gold Star parents and so on. Lots of things he's done have been things that would normally end somebody's campaign. The fact that it hasn't ended Trump's campaign is because he's not a politician. He's his own boss. In this city, he's a billionaire tycoon, he's self-funding, and there's a lot of people who really resonate with what Trump, they think, can do for them. They don't really care, frankly, from what I've been picking up, about him and women. They don't care about him shooting from the hip and saying outrageous things. What they care about is, can he get me back to work? Can he get my food back on the table? And is he going to be the guy who's going to stand up to the Washington elite who've been downtrodden us for years, to the Wall Street elites who've been fleecing us for cash and so on? And I think that is what is happening.
Engine ignition. Lift off.
If you don't represent women in politics,